Good morning. I wanted to make a quick tribute video about one of my fondest memories of the late great Sensei Gene LeBell. I met Gene back in 2015 when I first joined Gokor Chavichin's highest stunt MMA academy in North Hollywood. Gene LeBell was a regular fixture at Gokor's dojo. Every Monday night, Gene would come on the mat sort of halfway through practice after we'd warmed up and done maybe a few rolls, and he would show one of his many, we'll just call them pain techniques. Gene was a competitive judoka, but he took judo in the more self-defense direction than the competition direction. So the type of judo he taught was meant to get to the submission. It's really good judo for folks who are going to go into law enforcement. In fact, one of his students, Sensei George, was a retired corrections officer. In any case, Gene would always show some very painful leg submission or wrist submission. Simple, effective, to the point. I got to know him, and he was very friendly, great sense of humor, and would always love to joke around with us, put us in a choke, bite our ear, etc. But my fondest memory of Sensei Gene was I actually had the chance to share a meal with him, his wife Midge, and a very good friend of mine named Catalina. And how this came about was we'd all spent a very long evening or day at the fights in Orange County. In fact, Kat was kind enough to hire an Uber for me, herself, and another friend of ours to go all the way from North Hollywood down to Orange County on a Thursday. And with LA traffic, you gotta leave early in the afternoon in order to get there in time to see the fights. So we left North Hollywood early afternoon. I'm guessing Sensei Gene did also. By the time the fights were over, it was well after midnight. So it was quite a long day. And just as the venue was closing up, Gene saw Kat and I, and he's like, "Hey, do you guys need a ride home?" And we're like, "Yes, that would be awesome." So Gene, Midge, Kat, and I piled into his sort of burgundy red SUV, and we made our way back to North Hollywood from Orange County. Now, at that point, Gene was in his 80s. He's an 80-year-old man driving on the highways, and you might think, well, gosh, I'm a little bit nervous about it's dark and it's the highway and it's an old guy driving this SUV. But Gene, of course, being a stuntman, he was also a stunt driver, and he was a great driver. He just wove in and out of traffic. No worries. He drove like a young man. He was a great driver. And so we got back to North Hollywood in pretty good time. But it was still probably after 1 in the morning. And when we got there, Gene turned and looked at me and Kat and said, "Hey, are you guys hungry? You want to get something to eat?" And we were both like, "Yes, definitely. We're hungry. We would love to get something to eat." So we swung by the Norm's Diner on Van Owen, which is close to our dojo and kind of close to where we all live. I'm not sure how late Norm's is open, but it's always open, right? It's a diner. And so that was the perfect spot for us. I remember I got breakfast. I can't remember what everybody got, but we did definitely enjoy our meal, and that was a wonderful close to a very long day. And I think Kat and I both really appreciated Gene and Midge's generosity and friendliness, and that just kind of shows you what type of human being Gene LeBell was. He was really, at that point, he's world famous. He'd been in movies with Bruce Lee. He'd been a stuntman, stunt coordinator. He was revered in the stunt community. He'd been a pro wrestler. He had arguably the first MMA match ever. He was a judo champion, and he was a great catch wrestler. He's a great instructor. He worked with Gokor Chivichian and Benny the Jet Urquidez. By the way, Benny the Jet Urquidez is a great grappler. Spinning back kick aside, you don't get to see much of his grappling on videos and whatnot because it's all of his kickboxing fights, but Benny the Jet is a master grappler. So I just wanted to share that little fond memory I have of Sensei Gene LeBell. Very accomplished man, but incredibly down to earth and incredibly kind. So thank you very much, Sensei and Midge, and please share with me some of your fond memories of Sensei Gene LeBell. Thank you.